Welcome to the podcast, folks. Today we're diving deep into Calder Douglas Macgregor's analysis on regional wars, Charlie Kirk's controversial discussions, and the dynamics of a Trump Putin two step.
I'm really excited and a bit intrigued by all those topics. How does Macgregor frame these complex issues?
He starts out by highlighting some intense geopolitical shifts. One of the key points is regarding the aftermath of Charlie Kirk's assassination and the surprising move to designate Antifa as a terrorist organization. It really sets the stage for his broader critique on how domestic events ripple globally.
That does sound pretty loaded. What is his reasoning behind linking domestic political violence with global security trends?
It's like, he suggests that these domestic power struggles aren't isolated. Instead, they feed into a larger narrative where ideological extremism, be it from far right or left, starts influencing international military alliances and, the perception of threat. It's almost as if every move on the domestic chessboard affects the global board.
Interesting. And how does he tie in the discussions on regional wars?
He dives into Israel's ongoing military operations in Gaza and the looming possibility of conflict with Iran.
Right?
According to Macgregor, Israel is not only trying to handle immediate security threats, but is also strategically positioning itself for any escalation.
So, he sees these conflicts as part of a strategic recalibration in the Middle East, right?
Exactly. He argues that Israel's operations have both a reactive and preemptive element. It's not just about addressing current hostilities, but also about setting a framework for long-term deterrence, especially against a potentially more aggressive Iran. It's a kind of layered strategy.
And where do the discussions around the Trump-Putin two-step fit into all this?
That's a fascinating part. Macgregor discusses how, in his view, there's a coordinated dance between US and Russian posturing. He sees Trump's policies and Putin's maneuvers as interlinked responses to shifting power dynamics. It's
Yes.
like a political pas de deux where each leader anticipates the other's moves.
That's a bold claim. I mean, can we really say they're operating in sync? Or is it more of a series of coincidental responses to shared challenges?
I get your point, and it's a fair question. Macgregor seems to suggest it's an almost deliberate two-step, a strategy that plays into both domestic narratives and international perceptions of strength. But, it's also a
Right,
bit
I see.
speculative, though it does cast a provocative light on current power plays.
Speaking of power plays, he also touches on the Russia-Ukraine war dynamics, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. He points out that Russia has maintained a measured pace in Ukraine. According to him, this controlled approach reflects both military strategy and domestic pressures, such as nationalist leanings across Europe. It's like Russia is balancing signals to avoid escalating too fast while also showing strength.
And does he talk about the European influence on Putin's determinations in the conflict?
Exactly. Macgregor argues that nationalist movements in Europe are not just a peripheral factor. They're actually influential in shaping Putin's response. It's almost as if European nationalism puts pressure on Russia to, avoid actions that might destabilize the
Right.
existing balance in the region. It's a feedback loop of sorts.
That makes sense. Now, what about his take on the US approach to military engagements abroad?
Oh, this is where it gets really layered. He criticizes America's military posture abroad, arguing that globalization has had some severe economic consequences domestically for the US working class. According to him, the cost of maintaining global military influence is, a heavy burden on the homeland.
That sounds like a call for a fundamental reassessment of US foreign policy, doesn't it?
Exactly, it does. He suggests that in light of these economic ramifications and the evolving geopolitical challenges, it's time for America to rethink its military commitments and align them with the real interests of its people. It's an argument for prioritizing domestic welfare over excessive international intervention.
It's an argument that's a bit controversial, though, isn't it? I mean, some might say that reordering military commitments could embolden adversaries.
True, that's a valid counterpoint. Macgregor counters that by arguing the current policy is unsustainable. And even if it seems risky to retreat, continuing on the same path could invite more instability. He believes the shift could lead to a smarter, more sustainable defense posture.
Well, I can see that being both an opportunity and a risk. It's like if you cut your budget too much, you might weaken your defenses, But if you overspend, you're stuck in a cycle of perpetual conflict.
Yes, it's a delicate balance indeed. And Macgregor's analysis pushes a narrative where these decisions are not isolated but intertwined with global
Right?
reactions. Every move has a ripple effect on international alliances and regional stability.
The interplay between domestic politics and international strategy is just so fascinating. There's this whole layer of economic consequences, military strategy, and political maneuvering all at once.
Absolutely. It's like a multidimensional chess game where every piece, every policy counts. Macgregor challenges conventional wisdom by asking if the US is too stretched to handle its global responsibilities, while at the same time dealing with rising domestic issues.
And do you think his critique is convincing, or does it risk oversimplifying the complexities of US foreign policy?
Well, it's definitely provocative. While his points are grounded in some real trends, critics might argue that he's reading too much into coincidences, like the Trump Putin dynamics. It's
Yeah.
a solid analysis, yet I think it might overlook some of the nuanced institutional factors at play.
Yes, that nuance is so crucial. Even the domestic economic pressures and globalization issues have layers and mediators beyond just military spending.
Exactly. And this is where the respectful debate comes in. There's merit in his observations, but perhaps it doesn't account for every variable. The complexity of international diplomacy, for example. It's a conversation that definitely warrants further discussion beyond the headline points.
I agree. What really stands out for me is how he connects the dots between these seemingly disparate events, from political assassinations to wars abroad and domestic policy failures.
Yes, and that holistic view is what makes his analysis so compelling. He's urging us to see the connections between domestic discontent and global military postures.
Right?
It's like a reminder that our domestic and international policies are two sides of the same coin.
Do you recall any anecdote or example he used to illustrate these complex linkages?
He doesn't rely on long anecdotes so much as on a series of pointed observations. For instance, he talks about how the shift towards a more nationalist agenda in Europe might actually be influencing Russia's calculated actions in Ukraine, almost like a silent cue in this vast geopolitical theater. It's a bit like reading a script that no one admitted was written.
That's a pretty vivid analogy. It certainly paints a picture of a world where every policy, every decision is interconnected.
Absolutely. And the intertwining of military, economic, and political factors makes it extremely challenging to untangle one from the other.
Yeah.
It's a call for perhaps a more integrated strategy when crafting future policies.
It makes me wonder, though, if such a fundamental reassessment of US foreign policy is even feasible, given the entrenched interests and bureaucratic inertia.
That's a valid critique. Macgregor certainly pushes the envelope here, suggesting that ingrained political interests might have to be upended for real change to occur. It's a tough pill to swallow, but maybe it's the necessary disruption the system needs.
This conversation really highlights how layered international relations are. It's not just about military might or economic power separately, but how they interact, often unpredictably.
Precisely. And as we wrap up, it's clear that Macgregor's insights open up a lot of questions about alliances, internal coherence, and the future trajectory
Right.
of global security. It encourages us to think critically about what we accept as the status quo.
Absolutely. It's a rich discussion that shows us the importance of looking at the bigger picture, even when it's messy and complicated.
Indeed. And as this talk reminds us, sometimes the most challenging puzzles are the ones where every piece, from domestic policies to international strategies, has its own weight and influence.
Yeah. Thanks for unpacking all this today. It's definitely given me a lot to ponder on about the intersection of military strategy and global politics.
My pleasure. The conversation is evolving every day, and discussions like these are fundamental to questioning our assumptions.
Here's to more deep dives in the future.
Absolutely. Thanks everyone for joining us in this intricate exploration of today's geopolitical landscape.
Until next time, keep questioning, stay engaged, and we'll catch you on the next one.